Hey, it's Simon the Butcher for Wise Guys Barbecue with another exciting video. It's March, and March means one thing, St. Patrick's Day. We did in our previous video, we actually cured our own beef brisket, and if you missed that, just click on that link and you'll be able to see exactly how we did it. Today, it's corned beef and cabbage. I'm gonna show you how you can do this at home, but before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. Stick around, we're cooking together. All right, let's get busy. We're gonna get working on this corned beef brisket right now. Now this one that we're gonna be cooking for you today, I brined yesterday, and I strongly urge to check out the link that we have up top here, because we pre-brined that ourselves. We did a home cure, and it's highly interested. I strongly urge you to watch that and see what went into getting this all prepped off. But first thing I wanna do, this is a whole beef brisket, by the way. It's the flat, and we wanna get this out of the brine. And at this point, all we need to do is just wipe it down with a towel. There's no need to be rinsing this under the sink. No need to be washing it off. Just kind of pat it dry. You can get some of these peppercorns, some of the solid flavorings, spices off. Now I got my pot going here, and we're gonna be putting 2 quarts of liquid in here altogether. I have 32 ounces of water, which is 1 quart. And for the other liquid, we're gonna be going in with beer. Now, Guinness Stout is very popular, it's very common in doing corned beef, but I'm opting for a Jack's Abbey Framingham Baltic Porter. It's very rich in chocolate, malt, coffee flavors. It's gonna add notes, it's really gonna add another whole dimension to the flavors going into here. Now, you don't have to use this, you can use Stout, you can use any beer. You don't even have to use beer, you can just use all water, so long as you have 2 quarts of liquid in the pot. So I'm gonna go in with our beer. As you can see, this is a very dark, rich in roasted malts, great flavors, so in we go. Gonna turn our heat up. We want a medium to medium-high heat because we're gonna get this to a simmer. So, I'm gonna go in with the corned beef. Now, as you can see, this is very, very tight. It looks awfully large for this pot. Looks too large, as a matter of fact. But what's gonna happen is this is gonna shrink down considerably, and then it'll actually fit the pot perfectly when we get done with it. Gonna move this brine aside. Now the next item we have to put in here, we're gonna put a flavoring packet called a bouquet garni. What I have is some cheesecloth, and this is a triple layer. We want about an 8-inch piece. We have 3 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of black peppercorns, and 2 bay leaves. So we're just gonna gather this together. Just making a little pouch out of here. I'm gonna get some kitchen string or some butcher twine. We're gonna tie that off. I'm gonna cut some of this excess string off and a little bit of this excess cheesecloth material that is not gonna be needed. So in the pouch goes. That's it, we're gonna bring this up to a simmer. Got my oven preheated to 275 degrees. And once this comes to a simmer, we're gonna get it in the oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours. And what's important, we want it to reach a tenderness where you'll be able to take a fork and stick it in, and it'll be very tender, butter-like going through. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. We're at a nice rolling boil. We're gonna kill the heat here. We're gonna get over to the oven and get it in. 275 degree preheated oven with the lid on. Okay, we're gonna let that go for about 2.5 hours, at which point we're gonna come back and check it for tenderness. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. It's been 3 hours now, and we're gonna go check on this corned beef. It's been simmering in the oven at 275, and we're gonna go check it for tenderness, so see you over there. Now to check for tenderness, we're gonna take a fork, and if you can go in and it slides in and it turns, yeah, we're good. As you can see, this is kind of breaking apart. See that there? It's pulling right apart pretty easy with a fork, so that means it's done. All right, so next we gotta get this corned beef, we gotta get it out of the pot. And I'm gonna get it onto this baking sheet. I'm gonna spoon on a little bit of the cooking liquid, cover it with foil. We're gonna get it back into that oven. Now the heat is off, but that residual heat is just gonna keep it warm and moist while we work on the vegetables. We're gonna get the cabbage, the carrots, and the potatoes in here. All right, now we're just gonna spoon on some of this liquid. Just gonna do a ladle and a half. Cover it with foil, we're gonna get it back in the oven. All right, next step, we've got the our pot on the stove. I got it on medium heat. Just wanna get it up to a little bit of a simmer. Gonna remove this pouch, this bouquet garni. Now, what I have here, I have 6 large carrots that I've cut in half, and on the thick end, I've got those halved as well, so they're all about the same thickness. And I'm gonna be putting in 2 pounds of, these are baby red potato, they have not been peeled, and then we're gonna go in with the cabbage after. But we need to get the carrots and the potatoes in first. They're gonna take a little bit longer to cook. So, I'm gonna go in with the carrots. And I have 3 pounds of potatoes here, but I'm only intending on using 2. Good 2 pounds of these potatoes in. I'm just gonna roughly eyeball it. I'm gonna give it a stir. I'm gonna make sure it comes back up to a simmer before we put the lid on here and let that just go for about 10 minutes to 12 minutes maybe. We'll come back and just to make sure that they get fork tender. That's it. Gonna give it about 10 minutes and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, it's been about 10 minutes and these potatoes and carrots, I would say they're about halfway cooked, so we're ready to go in with the cabbage. Now I have 1 whole head of cabbage. It's about 2 pounds total, and I quartered them and I cut the quarters in quarters, so I cut them in 8ths. And I left the cores on, so what the core's gonna do, it's gonna help keep everything intact so it doesn't all cook down and all the leaves will fall apart. So, and this will be in there for quite a while, getting very tender. So that's not an issue with that core whatsoever. So I'm gonna place all these cabbages right in the liquid. Now, one thing to note is we have not done anything with seasoning to this. No salt, no pepper whatsoever. All the salt in the brine, all the peppercorns in the brine and in the final cook. There's plenty of pepper, there's plenty of salt in here. No need to season it. So I'm gonna get this cabbage in, and I'm gonna try to get as much as I can submerged in the liquid, but it's not necessary to get it all in there because there's gonna be a steaming effect inside this pot once I get the lid on. We're gonna let it go for another 12, maybe 15 minutes, and it should be completely done at that point. So, lid goes on, see you back in about 12 to 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're moving on. We got everything's complete. The only thing left to do is get this all plated up. Now we're gonna plate it family style. I'm gonna have all my vegetables as a base, and we're gonna slice up the corned beef, and we're gonna layer it on top. So I'm just gonna basically just go in here. Folks, this is gonna be family style, so I'm really not gonna be too particular or finicky plating this up. As long as we get everything on the plate, everybody's gonna enjoy this. All right, now we're gonna do this corned beef. Now, as you can see, all the grain is running this way, so we're gonna slice it across the grain. Now, as you can see, this has got a brown color to it. We didn't use the synthetic nitrates or nitrites. I use that celery powder, so it's not gonna give you that pink, reddish color that you normally see on corned beef bought if you did a store purchase. All right, next, we've already sliced up our corned beef. I'm gonna just lie it along at the top, just shingle it out. Now I'm gonna take these smaller pieces first, because these longer pieces, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them in half, because these are quite big. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best way to serve a corned beef dinner up, is family style. Lay everything out on the platter, then all your guests, all your family can gather around and just pass the goodness around to everybody. Now there's a mountain that needs to be conquered. All right, folks, there it is. Corned beef and cabbage, done Weiss guy style. We served it up family style, and looking at that plate, it looks as if it could feed a family of 30. But we're gonna do a number on it. And as you can see, the corned beef doesn't have the typical red color that everybody is accustomed to, and that's because we actually cured it in a celery powder, which is a natural curing agent. So you won't see that bright red color, because actually it shouldn't be bright red. It shouldn't look red at all, but all right, I'm gonna jump right into this. And of course, we're gonna go in for these carrots, potato, a little bit of cabbage. Of course, I'm drinking our Jack Sabby's framing hammer, the Imperial Baltic Porter that we use for our braising liquid. Also have a whole grain mustard that we're gonna use for a dipping sauce. And man, cheers, folks. Wow. That, you have to do this because you will not get a chemical flavor to this. Sometimes with the brining, with the pink salt, it can give you a little bit of like an off-put background flavor, but this is absolutely delicious. The seasoning level in here is off the chart. No need to use any salt, any pepper whatsoever, because it's all incorporated in the brining liquid, so. If you don't want to cure your own corned beef, this whole recipe can be done perfectly fine with store-bought corned beef. So you can eliminate that brining process, that curing process. If you don't feel like going through all that, just follow this recipe for any store-bought corned beef and you'll be fine. So, I'm Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys Barbecue. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you next time.